Hello, friends. Welcome back to Ms. Schleebecker's Book Lessons Video Help Guides. And we are on Lesson 3. We're going to start by opening up your video book lesson file. Go to Illustrator Lesson 3. I'm on page 3.6 of your Adobe Revealed file. And number 1 says Open 3.1 AI and save it as straight lines. Make sure that you follow these steps. We're only going to go 3.2 to 3.17. So let's start with opening up 3.1. You can see it's opened here. Hit open. I'm going to minimize all this internet stuff so we can look and see what Illustrator's doing. Here we have 3.1 saved or opened up, and now we need to save it. Save it to your H drives, which is your drive with your ID. And we're going to save it as straight lines. Hit enter. It says choose the Essentials workspace. Oops. Hit OK. Go to Window, go to Workspace, and make sure this is clicked, meaning that we are in the Essentials workspace. Click on the Zoom tool, then position it at the upper left corner of the artboard. So I'm using my mouse to scroll up and down, and then I position it at the upper left corner of the artboard. Click and drag a marquee that encompasses the entire yellow section as shown in Figure 3. So if your book tells you to do that, it tells you to click and drag a marquee that encompasses the entire yellow section as Figure 3. Our new Adobe Creative Suite doesn't have that option where you click and drag in order to create a rectangle marquee around our objects that we're selecting. Our zoom tool actually works more like Photoshop's scrubby zoom tool. When you click and drag, you zoom in. If I'm clicking and dragging into the right, I zoom out, and I want you guys to try that. And then now I want you to click and hit Alt, and then you can click and zoom out. So I'm actually moving up so I can zoom out. So zoom out, you want to get to the position, you can press your space bar on your keyboard, get to the position where all you're seeing is the yellow area. I'm going to click Alt on my keyboard. I'm holding Alt, clicking with my mouse button, and then zooming out. You want to get this centered so that you can see this area full screen just like this. Play around with it a little bit. Don't be afraid of using Alt to zoom out and then clicking and dragging to zoom in, and then pressing and holding spacebar to have quick and easy access to this hand tool to move things around. Okay? Click View on the menu bar, then click New View. It's going to be at the very bottom, so you may have to click this button as many times as you can to get to the very bottom. I'm clicking on New View. Name the new view Yellow. And then hit OK. Press and hold the spacebar to access the hand tool. Then drag the artboard upward until you have the entire pink area showing. Entire pink area right here. Create a new view of the pink area and name it Pink. View, New View, and we're going to call this Pink. Create a new view. Okay, so we're down to number 8. It says create a new view of the green area, and we're going to call it Mint. So press and hold that space bar to access your hand tool, and move that up right there. And then we're going to go to View and down to New View. And what are we going to call it? Mint. And hit OK. Okay, click View on the menu bar. Then click Yellow at the bottom of your screen. You can see those are our saved views. Now we have a saved yellow view. Verify that you are still in the yellow view, then click your pen tool. Pen tool, this is where the fun starts, guys. Open the swatches panel. My swatches panel is already open. And how do you open that swatches panel if it's not open? You go to Window, scroll down to Swatches, and then click on Swatches. See that arrow? That means it's already open, so we're ready to go. Okay, open the swatches panel and set the fill color to none. We know how to set the fill color. Your book is not telling you how to do that because it's expecting you already know from the previous lessons. So fill color is forward. We can set it to none by clicking here. And that changes that, okay? And set the stroke color to black. So to set the stroke color, it needs to come forward. And we need to set it to black. So that would be green, blue, or we can click this color latte, but we want it to be black. Open the stroke panel and set the stroke width to 1 point. My stroke panel is open right here and it's already set to 1 point. Using figure 4 as a reference, click position 1 start. Click. Click position 2 and note how the segment is automatically drawn between the two anchor points. So I'm going to come down here and just click. I'm not holding the mouse, I'm just clicking. Okay, so by clicking and clicking, we now have our first line segment. Click position 3, then click 4. 3 and 4. Press and hold Control to switch to the selection tool, then click the artboard. Control on my keyboard, you can see my selection tool, click the artboard, and now notice the anchor points have all disappeared. Because they've disappeared, this line is no longer active, that path is no longer active, and we can continue drawing somewhere else without having it connect. I hit backspace to get rid of that. Okay, so we are down to number 7. Number 7 says release control, click position 1, which is the start on the next path, then click position 2. Skip over position 3 and click position 4. Using figure 5 as a guide, position the pen tool anywhere on the segment between positions 2 and 4. See that little plus sign? That means I'm going to add an anchor point there. Click. Okay. Using figure 5 as a guide, position the pen tool anywhere. Okay, we just did that step. Now we're on number 10. Click the selection tool. So we're going to come over here. Make sure you are clicking, and wants you to click actually your direct selection tool. So I'm going to click that direct selection tool. Then drag the new anchor point, the new one right here, the one that's filled in. We know it's selected because it's filled in with blue. We're going to click this new anchor point and drag it down. I'm holding the mouse button down, drag it down to position 3 and let go. And so what we did was we created a new anchor point and then moved it over here. Very good. We are turning the page. I'm going to deselect this by clicking the artboard once, and now that is set. Okay, click View on the menu bar. We'll go into the next section, and then it's pink. Click the pen tool. Click. Click the Start in position at the top of the polygon. Follow the instructions on this one really closely because this is one where previous students have made mistakes. Then click positions 2 through 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Position the pen tool over the first point you created, then click to close the path as shown in figure 7. Now watch what happens to my pen tool. Notice that it's going to have a new little sign. See that O next to my pen tool? Watch. That O means that I can complete this path and create the shape. I've completed the shape. All right, so switch to the direct selection tool. Click point 3, so it's the active point. Press and hold Shift and click point 6. Now these two are the two that are selected. Click Object on the menu bar, point to Path and then Average. Path, Average. Click the horizontal option button in the Average dialog box, and then you want to hit OK. See how that changed it? The two selected anchor points align on the horizontal, on the horizontal axis. Select both the start and the end points and point 4. So you're going to click, press and hold Shift, click 4. Use the average command to align the points on the vertical axis. So you go back to Object, and then Path, Average, and we're gonna click vertical this time and hit OK. Boom, look at that change. Okay, now we're gonna select both points 2 and 5. Click, press and hold Shift, click. Then use the average command to align the points on both axes. So we go back to Object, Path, and then we're gonna go to Average, and then hit both and hit OK. So now we have like this X thing going on. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so switch to the Mint view on the artboard. So you're going to go to View, Mint. Use the pen tool to trace the two diamond shapes. So it doesn't tell us what to do, but we know we just click. And then go until you see that little O to fulfill that shape, to close the shape, and click it. So I don't have to deselect. It's closed, it's fine. I can start a new shape. And then close the shape. Okay, if it wasn't closed, let me show you what would happen if it wasn't closed. Let's say I'm going to make that shape out here. And let's say I go like that, and I didn't quite close it. Now I'm going to come over here and try this new shape. Well, it's going to want to start a whole, it's going to want to continue it because it wasn't closed here. Okay, so let's hit backspace to get rid of what we just did. Okay, so this is what your project should look like. Now what you're going to do is you're going to click on your selection tool, or your direct selection. I'm reading right out of the book and I skipped over that word. Okay, so click your direct selection tool, click edit on the menu bar. Oh, no, it says, with number 3 says, click the left anchor point of the first diamond. So how do you know that you're going to select that anchor point? Watch how my mouse changes. See how it changes? That's how I know I can select that. Okay, so I selected that anchor point. Just click the left anchor point of the first diamond with the direct selection tool. Click Edit on the menu bar, Cut. Cut the right point on the second diamond. Okay. Select the top point of each path. Press and hold Shift. Okay. Then click Object, and then we're going to go to Path and Join. Now the points are joined by a straight line segment as shown in figure 11 on page 39 of your book. Join the two bottom points, number 7. So click, press and hold Shift, click, Object, path, join.